Hey, welcome back to Mayday. We don't have a show this week, so you get a little special video covering the good, the bad, and the unfortunate from the last 7 days. Yes, if you were wondering, this is another rebrand of our news segment, but I like this one a little bit better, and if you don't know what this means, it's gonna make sense in just a moment. But before we get into the good, the bad, and the unfortunate, I need you to remember a couple things. One, the Substack is now available for your viewing pleasure at iamtrevormay.com. Or you can use this little scan code, QR code? This little QR code thingy if you have another device on you to do that with. That works too. If you subscribe, it is absolutely free, and you get a weekly newsletter keeping you up to date on everything we are making here at Mayday Media and everything that will be going up on both of our YouTube channels. More on that in a moment. There's also an option to subscribe financially, which I appreciate a lot because it helps me compensate through profit sharing everyone that is involved with all of our projects. With that subscription, you get direct DMs to me where you can ask me questions and possibly make videos in the future, early access to videos, and special editorial content that you will not get anywhere else, including a video that I'm currently working on breaking down deception and everything that goes into it. Turns out pitchers are a lot like magicians. You're gonna wanna see that one. Also, we have a second channel, which you are on right now, which I'm realizing is silly. Subscribe. They will be having all kinds of different content on both of them. So if you're subbed to both, you'll never miss any. All right, let's get into the stuff that happened last week. The good, the bad, the unfortunate. First up, we have some good, and that's Shohei Ohtani. Ohtani pitched 5 no-hit innings and hitting a home run of his own in an eventual 9-6 loss yesterday against the Philadelphia Phillies. In those 5 innings, he struck out 5, only walked 1, and threw 42 of his 68 pitches for strikes. The home run he hit later in the game in the 8th to tie, that's his 50th. So Ohtani keeps doing Ohtani things, and I will continue to be baffled by how any of this is even possible. Like, how does your oblique not just kill you all the time after throwing and swinging? Explain it to me. Speaking of the Dodgers, they had their own share of the bad, as after Shohei left this game, rookie Justin Robleski promptly gave up 4 runs after facing 5 hitters in the 6th, allowing the Phillies to tie the game. The difference ended up being a 3-run home run hit by Rafael Marchand, the number 9 hitter and backup catcher for the Phillies. And the Dodgers suffer their 16th blown save since July 4th. Yikes. This bullpen is a big question mark. Blake Trinan has been weak. Unfortunately, Tanner Scott has not been as advertised, and Kirby Yates has been bothered with injuries. What I thought was going to be the deepest bullpen going into a playoffs starting this year turns out to be one of the weaker ones. Could Shohei Ohtani finish games in the playoffs? Is Roki Sasaki going to play a role in this bullpen? I guess we'll have to find out, but this is not a problem that I anticipated them having. With the loss, we have the unfortunate, as the Dodgers were unable to take advantage of a San Diego Padres loss in Citi Field against the struggling Mets to gain any more of a lead in the NL West, and it remains tight. So these last 10-ish games or so are going to become more and more pivotal in determining who is going to be the wild card, who is going to be the division winner, and who is inevitably going to have home field advantage. All of these things play a huge role, especially in the new playoff format. You want these games at home because travel sucks. Back around to some good. Anthony Rizzo was in Wrigley Field on Saturday, taking in a game from the left field stands as he officially retired as a Chicago Cub and took on a new role being the ambassador for the team. I love that, especially when guys come right off the field straight into working for the organization. It seems like he is exactly where he wants to be, and as you can see from this picture, he was having quite a good time enjoying the bleachers in Wrigley. Now, this isn't an experience I've ever had. It is on the bucket list. Next time I'm in Chicago, I want to make sure, especially in the summer, I want to make sure I get out to a game at Wrigley and see it as a fan, because I've seen a lot of games, and I've seen a lot of games as a fan, but this is something that you have to do once, and I'm sad that I've never done it. So it was cool to see him out there, though. He wore a Cubs jersey that was signed by a lot of the pediatric cancer patients that he's seen over the years at Lurie Children's Hospital, which is awesome. Rizzo also bought beers for everyone around him out in the bleachers, handing out signed cards that said, "This round's a Rizzo special. Thank you all for your support over the years. Enjoy a cold beer on me." Now that is one way to make every single person on the planet love you. And it's funny, he's the second guy named Rizzo that's bought a bunch of beers for fans this year. What a coincidence. During the game, Ian Happ also ran out to left field, threw up Rizzo a ball, $100 bill attached to it, and a little note that said, "Here's to never having to buy a beer in Chicago, unless you're buying beers for everybody around you." But that notwithstanding, from now on, he doesn't have to buy any more beer. And I think that's up there with getting your gold card and getting to do every major league game for free. Actually, I think that's better. You're right, that's better. And then the unfortunate, when it comes to the Rizzo game, it really depends on what you consider to be unfortunate. I had to put something here. That's what it comes down to. Early in the game, sitting in the bleachers with Rizzo was a couple of Chicago icons, Eddie Vedder of Pearl Jam and the still gorgeous Cindy Crawford. In an interview with Cubs broadcast, Vedder was asked what this day has been like so far and responded, "I've never gotten to sit with my favorite player in the bleachers." Aw. Then Vedder was asked what it was like leading the 7th inning stretch with Rizzo and Crawford, and he responded,
"Terrified."
You were terrified? Why?
Just I didn't want them to up.
Yes.
Eddie Vedder, everybody. Unfortunate, maybe for some, but not for me. That's awesome. More good out there. This man, Big Amish of the redacted A's, hit the farthest home run hit in the major leagues since Shohei Ohtani did the same feat 2 years ago. God damn it, Shohei Ohtani just came up again. We cannot escape this guy. The 6'6" rookie took a pitch 493 feet over dead center, far enough to clear the batter's eye in Sacramento, making it look even more impressive. The ball left the field at 114.6 miles per hour. In more good, Kurtz is probably going to be the Rookie of the Year and has put up a .623 slugging percentage for the entirety of the season, on top of 32 home runs to boot. So I think the A's have another young stud on their hands. I expect these guys to be real good real soon. All they need is a couple of those pitchers to pan out, and we're cooking with gasoline. They've already won 70 games this year. They've gotten better and better every year, and this man is going to be a big part of their success moving forward. There is some bad, though, as we have a couple big injuries with big implications going into the playoffs. Yordan Alvarez has a pretty significant left ankle sprain after crossing home plate in a recent game, and he is out of the lineup indefinitely as the Houston Astros hope to recapture first place in the AL West over the surging Seattle Mariners. Manager Joe Espada refused to give a timetable for his return, being adamant that they were going to take it day by day, but no Yordan Alvarez is a much weaker Astros lineup. The Astros are going to need him, and if they want to make a run and they want to keep up their success they've had over the last decade or so, he needs to be part of that situation. We'll have to wait and see what happens. Another team that really is going to miss a guy, the AL East leading Toronto Blue Jays, got some bad news about Bo Bichette, who has not played in a game since September 7th, that a sprained knee is going to keep him out for the rest of the season, though there is a little bit of hope. As the manager was quick to say, that when he does come back, he will be swinging as a DH. And that may be sooner rather than later, possibly. If the team is still in it later in the playoff, he might be a guy they can put in that situation. Probably not likely, but he is a big part of their lineup. They've been pretty good so far, just passing the torch to the next guy. So let's see if they can weather the storm, but it's sad to see stars like Bo Bichette not be available in the playoffs, especially for what I would argue is the most surprising team of the year. So fingers crossed for Bo getting back and playing a role. Staying with the Blue Jays, we have a little bit of unfortunate. Trey Savage, who made his major league debut against the Tampa Bay Rays in Tampa, the 25 ranked overall MLB prospect and leads the minor leagues in strikeouts. This man started in Single A and within 15 months of being drafted is in the big leagues, and he was just one pitch away, or he is one questionable call away from possibly having an immaculate inning in his major league debut. Now, if he had gotten an immaculate inning, I would have been so jealous. That is the one thing I wanted more than anything, and I never got it because I can't help it. I always have to throw balls. I had to. Anyways, in his outing, he struck out 9, setting a franchise record for punch-outs in a debut. And after striking out the first 2 in the 6th inning, Savage worked an 0-1 count on Nick Fortes before home plate umpire Laz Diaz, of all people, might have missed one at the bottom of the zone. Looked like he caught the zone, but again, it comes down to what the umpire calls, and he unfortunately missed his immaculate inning. A little bit of bonus unfortunate in this story. He had to make his major league debut in a spring training complex, one that the Blue Jays frequent in spring training. Not that it mattered to him, just something I noticed. And in our final piece of good news, Cal Raleigh is officially your all-time home run leader in a season for someone who swings from both sides of the plate. He passed Mickey Mantle as he hit 2 home runs in the Mariners' 12-5 10th straight W over the Kansas City Royals. He hit his first homer off Michael Wacha, going 419 feet, that's a no-doubter, and then hit his second off Daniel Lynch IV for 425, also a no-doubter. It was the 10th multi-home run game for Raleigh, which is impressive, and he further strengthens his bid to be this year's American League MVP, though Aaron Judge is going to be a tough guy to beat. The Mariners, like I mentioned before, are currently a half game up on the Astros, and they continue to hold that lead by never losing. It's a pretty good strategy. I don't hate it. Now, I am up in Seattle. There's a little bit of bias here, but that is impressive. 56 home runs is not nothing, and he is only 6 homers off of the all-time record held by, you guessed it, Aaron Judge with 62. There's 10 games left. He needs 6 home runs, but I just mentioned 10 times he's hit more than one in a game. Just do it a couple more times, right there. If he gets to 60, it's probably over at that point. I think he gets the MVP, but that would be quite something. I think that story would be a lot of fun to talk about. And the Mariners are cooking when the cooking is what they need. So that has been the good, the bad, and the unfortunate for the last 7 days here on September 17th, 2025. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you never miss any in the future, and I will see you next week live on Foul Territory at noon Pacific time with a second hour at 1 p.m. Pacific time over on Trevor May Baseball. Never miss any of the action. Make sure you are subscribed, and we will see you next week right here on Mayday. Night-night.